A new Mafia game is here. No, not that one. Well, not yet anyway. But there is a new Mafia game. Mafia Definitive Edition. A remake of the 2002 Mafia, the game that started it all. So let's talk about what this means for the series going forward. Is this a soft reboot like we got with the Resident Evil 2 remake? What does this mean for Mafia 3? Will we ever see a Mafia 4? How do you pronounce it? Is it for reasons? I think it's for reasons, but I could be wrong. It has been a minute since I played the original. Well, if you're a fan of Mafia, or you just want to know more about this new release, keep watching, because here are 10 things you need to know about Mafia. Mafia Vows Never Die. Now, before we get into the reasons why I think this might be a good thing for the series, I have to say that I am a little surprised that we re-getting a remake in the first place. This is probably because of how well the Mafia 3 Definitive Edition did back in 2020. That game brought the 2016 open-world crime game into the modern era with updated graphics, improved gameplay and quality of life features like a photo mode and driving and combat. In the case of 3, the changes were significant enough to justify calling it a definitive edition. Whereas the upcoming remake of the original game isn't really getting the same graphical or gameplay overhaul, if anything, the remake looks to have the same gameplay loop and mechanics as the original. Which may sound disappointing at first, but hear me out because I think it actually sets up some interesting opportunities. First of all, remaking the original game means that the bar for future remakes is now set higher than before. If fans liked the definitive edition of 3, they'll be expecting the same for the other games in the series, especially 2, which is widely regarded as the best Mafia game. There's also no guarantee that a remake will improve upon the original game. The original is still great today, and any changes run the risk of alienating longtime fans of the series. But my theory is that the reason why they decided to remake the first game is because it needs the least amount of work to make it feel fresh today. The core gameplay loop is already solid. All it needs is a visual refresh and maybe some added polish to make it feel like it belongs in 2023. Meanwhile, Mafia 2 has way more open levels and a much bigger scope compared to the original game. It would take a lot more effort to bring the city of Empire Bay into the modern era and remake its levels from scratch. The 2010 game also has a different camera angle and an upgraded graphics engine compared to the original, so it would be more difficult to retrofit those systems to work with the upgraded visuals. Mafia 3, on the other hand, has a modernish feel already, but it would also need a complete gameplay overhaul to match the newer titles in the series. So for those reasons, I think that Mafia 2 is probably safe for now. Another reason why I think remaking the original Mafia is a good idea is because it lets newcomers experience the game with modern conveniences. When it comes to the Mafia games, I think that the biggest hurdle to entry is the age of the first 2 games. Today's gamers are unused to playing games with fixed camera angles or tank controls, and the dated visuals due uncanny glazing can exactly make the games look very inviting. The upcoming remake will fix these issues and bring the game into the modern era while keeping its classic feel. Not only will this make the game more accessible, but it'll also attract new players who might have missed the game when it came out. Even if you weren't alive when the original Mafia came out, you might have played it during childhood. You might remember being scared of the opening scene with the hit and run, or maybe the bank heist level, or even the infamous final level. Maybe you didn't finish the game because you could end-handle the difficulty, or maybe you never had the chance to play it. Whatever the reason, this remake is an opportunity for you to finally experience this classic game without having to deal with the outdated graphics or clunky controls. That said, there's a small part of me that wishes they would remake Mafia 2 instead. I think that the game that most people will have slept on, and I think it would appeal more to today's audience because of the open world design. But I can also understand why they went with the original. Again, it just makes the most sense. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't address the elephant in the room. Mafia Definitive Edition releases September 28th, which is the same day as Starfield, and it's also less than a month away from Forza Motorsport and Alan Wake 2. There are also rumors of a Super Mario Bros. Wonder Direct happening around this time. So yeah, it's going to be hard for Mafia to stand out when there are so many other big games releasing around this time. And this is especially true because, again, it's not like the game is getting a huge graphical or gameplay upgrade. The main draw of this game is that it's a remake of the original, So unless you're a fan of the series or you've always wanted to play the original, there's not much here to attract new players. It's a shame because Mafia is actually a really good game, and it deserves more attention. It introduced us to the world of the Mafia, and it helped popularize the open-world crime game.
Ow.
And this game was revolutionary for its time. The story was surprisingly dark for a video game, and the writing is still pretty great today. The characters were also really memorable, especially the members of the Leone family, Papa Leon, Marco, Vinny, Kenny, and Sam. They might be some of the greatest characters in video game history. The supporting cast is also fantastic, with memorable side characters like Derek, Father Joe, Auntie D, Lucy, and so many others. I was actually shocked to learn that Half-Life 2's writer, Mark Epstein, worked on the original Mafia. His work on Half-Life 2 is so iconic that I didn't associate him with anything else, but his work on Mafia is just as great. He was able to create compelling characters and dialogue with a limited cast, and it's crazy to think that he elevated these characters with his writing. It is also wild to think that the original Mafia had the same impact as Grand Theft Auto 3 and helped pave the way for Rockstar's masterpiece GTA V, in fact. GTA V wouldn't exist if it wasn't for games like Mafia, Max Payne, and the Godfather games. These games proved that there was an audience for cinematic third-person shooters with a focus on story. And the rest is history. Still, it's disappointing to see the series in this state. Mafia the Third did really well, and there was hope that the series would continue to grow. But this remake tells us that 2K and Hangar 13 do and have faith in their ability to deliver a new Mafia game. Of course, the success of the remake will determine the future of the franchise. If it sells well, then maybe we'll see more remakes, or maybe a new Mafia altogether. But if it doesn't sell well, then this could be the last we see of the series for a long time. And that's why I really hope that this game does well, because Mafia is an incredible series with fantastic characters, stories, and settings. I can honestly say that these are some of my favorite games of all time, and I couldn't wait to replay them all in 2023. Let me know what you think about the upcoming remake and the future of the series. Do you want to see more remakes or a new game? And which game should they remake next? Should it be Mafia 2 or a different game entirely? Also, leave a like rating on this video and subscribe if you are new to check out more of my content. Thank you, everyone. Take care.